Welcome back to the channel. I'm excited today because I'm going to open up two of my favorite bottles, Heaven Hill and Bardstown, bottled in bond. So sit back, grab your drink, and let's talk about some bourbon. Let's go. The first bottle we are going to try today is going to be the Heaven Hill. Now, this is an old bottle for me because when I first started tasting bourbon, this is one of the first bottles that I tasted. You can go back on my channel and I did a segment about the Heaven Hill and how great it was. And I'm always going to keep this bottle on my shelf. So let's open up the Heaven Hill bottled in bond and let's see if this bottle is as good as the first one. Let's go. Let's give it a little pour. Now, with the Heaven's Hill, it is a Kentucky bourbon because it was made in Kentucky. It is a bottled in bond, 100 proof bottle. I am going to go to the distillery in Louisville, Kentucky the next time I am down that way. I was down that way last year in November, but it was cold. When I mean cold, that air coming off that water, it was very cold out there. And we didn't spend too much time walking the streets. And it was around the holiday time and some of those distilleries was closed. So I did the rookie mistake. I did not check before I went down there. So if you plan on going to the distilleries around the holiday time, make sure you check on the website and make sure they are open. So let's try the Heaven's Hill. Let's put it to the nose. Man, it smells good. It has a caramel color to it. You can automatically smell the honey, the sweetness, the vanilla. You can tell this is going to be a sweet pour on the tongue. You can just tell by the nose. And it doesn't smell like it's going to drink at 100 proof. Now, the last bottle that I tasted, it did not drink as 100 proof, but all bottles are not the same. So let's put it to the taste. Very good bottle. Now, you can tell it does have a spice on the back end. The spices, it does stay with you for a minute. Matter of fact, you can feel it in your chest. So the spice is there, the proofness, this bottle is actually drinking at a 100 proof bottle. I'm not gonna lie. It's drinking as a 100 proof bottle because you can taste the spices, you can taste the caramel in it, the vanilla in there, and the finish, it does stay with you for a few seconds. So if you don't like the 100 proof bottles, the spices, Heaven Hill may not be for you, but this is a great bottle of bourbon, a great bottle of bourbon. And the second sip is way better than the first. I think the first sip went down because this is my first pour of bourbon for today. I've been trying to prepare by drinking water all day, and I think since it's my first pour of bourbon, that it kicked in very hard on me, but that second sip was smooth. You can taste the honey, you can taste the sweetness. And this is the bottle of Heaven Hill that I am used to. So this is a phenomenal pour, Heaven Hill bottled and bond. You cannot go wrong with this bottle. So let's try the Bardstown. Now, I've heard a lot about Bardstown products, and I did not have them on my shelf. But I went to Nashville, Tennessee, and I did a hunt. I did a couple of hunts in Nashville, Tennessee, and I really, really, really want you to go back and watch those videos, because it was a hunt in Nashville, Tennessee. If I told you about it, you wouldn't believe it. You have to go back and watch that hunt for yourself. I got some great bottles at some great prices, and I tell you, you would not believe it. You have to check it out for yourself. So go back and watch that video. But while I was in Nashville, my brother and my friend and my brother-in-law actually put me on this bottle. When I tasted this bottle, I was very, very surprised, because I enjoyed this Bardstown. And again, I've heard great things about Bardstown, don't get me wrong, but I never did pick one up. I have no idea why. I saw it in Kentucky when I went down there, but I was freshly new into bourbon, and I've heard some things about Bardstown, but I never, ever picked the bottles up. And plus, when I first started collecting bourbon, it was on some of the bottles of Bardstown are on the higher end, and I was not willing to spend that money until I start hearing some feedback about the Bardstown. Now, I'm hearing a lot of feedback from you all, and I appreciate your feedback. And I got this bottle because I tasted it in Nashville, and it was great. So hopefully this Bardstown is going to be just like the first Bardstown that I tasted. So let's open it. There we go. And this actually has a caramel color to it also. It's about the same color. So let's put it to the nose. The first thing I smell with this Bardstown, it's like a orangey flavor. You can smell like a orange peel. You can tell it's going to be sweet too. You can tell it's going to be an orange taste to it. It's going to be sweet. I smell a little bit of caramel, nutmeg type smell going on. And again, I love this bottle of Bardstown. Hopefully this bottle is going to be like the one I tasted in Nashville. So let's put it to the taste. I'm excited about this one. This Bardstown is phenomenal. I've been sleeping on this Bardstown. I don't know why or how that happened, but I have been sleeping on this Bardstown. This is a great bottle of bourbon. Cinnamon, vanilla, sweetness. oakiness. All of those things pop in my mind when we're talking about the Bardstown bottled and bond. And the finish. The finish is not as long as the Heaven's Hill. Now, I know I say that I like the high proof bottles. I do. I love the high proof bottles. And I think the reason why I tend to go toward the higher proof bottles is because I drink a lot of old fashions. And when I started thinking about that, I said to myself, that is the reason why you sort of gravitate toward the higher proof bourbons, because you always tend to put it in the old fashioned, which proofs it down. So I had to rethink my bourbon and how I looked at what I liked and what I didn't like, or what's in the medium. And I figured that if I was going to drink bourbon straight, what would be my proof point to drink it straight? And I came to realize that 130 proof bottle I tend to enjoy more in the old fashioned versus a bottled and bond 100 proof. I can drink these two bottles neat. I don't need any ice. I can drink it straight out the glass. But again, just like the Heaven's Hill, it sort of drinks. I know I said it drinks at 100 proof, but sometimes, like this bottle, it drinks a little bit more than 100 proof. So you can sort of water it down with some ice or a drop of water, and it would be fantastic. But this Bardstown here, original series bottled and bond, you don't have to do anything to it. This is a great bottle by itself. If you do not have these two, but specifically this one on your shelf, you're doing yourself a disservice. Both great bottles. Don't get me wrong, both great bottles. But if I had to choose, which we are putting one against the other today, and I'm going to choose the Bardstown bottled and bond because of this reason. Number one, it drinks right at 100 proof. Number two, you have the sweetness. You have a little bit of oranginess in there too, vanilla, the oakiness, and the finish. With the Heaven's Hill, that finish, you can sort of feel it in your chest. You know what I mean by that, feel it in your chest. But with this one, it goes down smooth and sweet, the way I like my bourbon. So I always do this. I always put a drop of water in each glass, and just to see if it changed the taste profile. And I'm going to do that with my handy dandy water bottle and my handy dandy straw. And let's start with the Heaven Hill. So we put a drop of water in the Heaven's Hill, and let's see what it does to the taste profile. I'm pretty sure it's probably going to water this one down a little bit, and the taste profile is going to drink more at 100 proof, but let's try it out. This has a very, very distinct cinnamon taste to it, which I love, don't get me wrong. But if I have to compare it with the Bardstown, I definitely enjoy the orange oakiness, honey that's coming out the Bardstown. But don't get me wrong, this is a great pour. I love Heaven's Hill. I love Heaven's Hill, but we are comparing the two today. I definitely can drink this by itself. So now let's add a drop of water to the Bardstown. And see if it changes the profile. Hopefully it doesn't. Put it to the taste. Cheers, my friends. This is a great bottle of bourbon. A great bottle of bourbon. I don't know what to say. Bardstown, that's a winner. It's a winner. It's a great bottle of bourbon. Again, the reason why I'm choosing the Bardstown over the Heaven's Hill is because it is a contest today. We have to have a winner and we have to have a second place. And first place is going to be the Bardstown. Second place is going to be the Heaven's Hill. Even though the Heaven's Hill is one of my favorite bottles, this is going to jump ahead of the Heaven's Hill. And if you say why, this is the main reason why, because it drinks at 100 proof. It has the orange flavor to it. It has the honey flavor to it. It has the oakiness. It has the cinnamon, and it's balanced. And the finish is great. It doesn't sit on your chest like the Heaven's Hill. So that's why I am picking the Bardstown Bottled and Bond Original Series as the winner of tonight's challenge. We are growing here at A Little Old Fashioned, and it's all because of you. And I just want to say, hey, I notice you. I try to comment and reply on everything down below. So if I missed you, it's by mistake. I always go back and try to say something to everyone who reaches out to me. So I appreciate your support. Again, subscribe to the channel to show your support. Until then, I will see you on my next hunt. Let's go.